Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited, E-Steam: The Sands of Time. It's action and adventure in ancient Egypt in this terrific teen time travel romance. Get your copy of E-Steam: The Sands of Time at your favorite online bookseller today. The far leftist and social justice warriors have been trying to redefine manhood over the last decade in many of their films. And in many of their films over the last decade, we have gone from seeing men being strong, confident, and self-assured heroes who went on a hero's journey to being men who fade into the background and go and get emotional whenever they run into conflict and make every effort to avoid conflict. Now, what Hollywood is trying to do is socially engineer the beta male paradigm into the hero's journey, and sadly, their attempts to try to socially engineer the beta male paradigm into the hero's journey has failed miserably. With characters like Finn in Star Wars and Kylo Ren, who was also a part of the Star Wars trilogy, and many other characters, they have made efforts to try to make us believe that the beta male is a hero. Unfortunately, the beta male's life paradigm runs diametrically opposed to the hero's journey. But that has not stopped Hollywood in its efforts to try to make the beta male a hero. No, they continue to make the beta male hero because in gynocentric Hollywood, they want to minimize the character traits of men so that they can try to elevate women into the role of the heroine and try to push the strong heroine by devaluing what is naturally masculine. Now, what they want to do as they're creating this beta male hero is they want to have him at the side of the heroine, and they want him at the side of the heroine so that the heroine can appear to be the smart one. The heroine can appear to be the strong one. The heroine can appear to be the one who solves all the problems, and she appears to be the one going through the character transformation arc. However, whenever you try to bring a beta male into the role of a hero, he really undermines everything as related to story because beta males don't want to change or transform like a hero does during the hero's journey. And because he does not want to change in a character transformation arc, he hampers the story that they're trying to make as related to the strong heroine. Now, the problem as related to adding a beta male hero to a heroine's journey to make her appear stronger is the fact that neither the heroine or the beta male ever change as related to their characters. No, when it comes to the beta male wants to live in a smooth world where he does not want to deal with any sort of conflicts, problems, or obstacles. And because he does not want to deal with conflicts, problems, or obstacles, he cannot change in a story and complete a full character transformation arc in a hero's journey. So since the beta male does not want to change, we cannot relate to him because he is not looking to overcome any sort of conflict or obstacle. Same thing goes on with the heroine, who they are trying to present as so-called strong. When it comes to the heroine, she also wants to live in a smooth world because the natural state of women is to nest, and because women want to nest, they don't want to change. So many stories like Captain Marvel and many of the other stories like She-Hulk, where they try to institute this strong heroine, what happens is these characters rarely ever grow because both the beta male and the heroine do not want to change, and it's only when they are part of the hero's journey does a beta male or a heroine wind up changing because they are following the hero on his journey. But Hollywood wants us to believe that you can make a beta male into a hero, but you cannot make a beta male into a hero because a beta male by nature is not someone who has the courage to go on a hero's journey. He does not have the courage to go out here and take steps towards moving things forward. He does not want to confront conflict. He does not want to overcome obstacles, and that makes him a character who cannot change in a story unless there is a hero that he has to follow behind. And when it comes down to the beta male, he does not have character traits that audiences identify with or relate to, because many beta males are passive, many beta males are unassuming, and oftentimes when beta males run into conflict, they become extremely emotional, and all of these character traits are unattractive to both men and women. A beta male does not have traits that a man would find that he wants to emulate in his own life, so he doesn't want to be like that hero that you're presenting on screen, because he radiates weakness, he radiates no confidence, he has no presence, and most women don't want to get involved with a man with these traits, because this man is someone who they believe cannot go out and protect them or help or be able to lead them as related to a direction in life. And when there are stories written with beta male heroes, oftentimes what happens with a beta male hero is that he is such a coward that he never really goes out here and goes on a hero's journey. No, he sits passively by watching the woman go on a somewhat of a quest, but that quest really goes nowhere, and that woman basically goes around in a circle. So a story featuring a beta male hero does not really resonate with audiences, and when you have a beta male as the lead character, that movie goes nowhere. But it doesn't stop Hollywood from trying to push this agenda, because what Hollywood wants to do is they want to redefine manhood from what they call toxic masculinity, but their definition of toxic masculinity is just natural masculinity, because it's natural for a man to go out here and look to lead. It's natural for a man to go out here on a journey to learn how to be a better man. It is a natural journey for a man to want to work on improving himself, and it's those traits that other men find admirable, and it's those kind of stories that of this man changing and growing from going through this process that make his stories resonate with audiences. Unfortunately, what Hollywood wants to do is they want to reinvent manhood. They want to create a softer male, just like the feminists and Hollywood and Madison Avenue tried to socially engineer in the 1960s with the feminist movement. They tried to engineer a kinder, gentler, softer male, and this sadly did not give us any man that anybody could relate to. No, all it did was give us 2 to 3 generations of men in crisis, and these men do not have character traits that people find admirable in movies that resonate with them. No, when people think of a beta male, they don't think of a hero. No, when they think of a beta male, they think of a villain, because oftentimes villains go out here like beta males looking for gimmicks and shortcuts to avoid doing hard work. They are unassuming and do not really go out here and go for what they want. They don't look to overcome obstacles. They look to, and when they are looking for power, they look to get power over others because they feel powerless about themselves. And many of these men, again, they have no traits that men relate to because they have no confidence. They have no backbone. But what Hollywood wants to do is socially engineer this idea that this male is somebody should aspire to. Unfortunately, most audiences don't aspire to be like beta males because most beta males are not men who have strong masculine traits. They do not have strong self-confidence. They do not have a sense of self-worth, and this makes them extremely unattractive. to both male and female audiences, because when men and women see a character like a Kylo Ren who basically acts really soft and effeminate, or they see a character like Finn in Star Wars who is in the background, they don't respect that man, and they don't respect their story, because both of these males, they have been marginalized and pushed in the background in order to make the character of Rey appear to be stronger. This is something that has been done in many recent Hollywood movies. What they'll do is downplay the strengths of the men to make the women appear to be more relatable, but those attempts to make that woman more relatable make it more of a turnoff, and it makes it a turnoff because when you see this man just being weak to make the woman appear to be strong, it prevents us from seeing how each character has multidimensional strengths and weaknesses that allow us to relate to them. Now, many in Hollywood don't think what they believe is that you have to minimize the man to elevate the woman. But as a writer of both heroes and heroines, I know that that's not true. Now, in one of my stories, E-Steam, The Sands of Time, I have both John and E-Steam, a man and a boy and a girl, out here being heroes and heroines. And I show the strengths and weaknesses of both John and Princess E-Steam in The Sands of Time, and I show them both working together, and I don't have to minimize John to elevate E-Steam, and I don't have to minimize E-Steam to elevate John. I understand that men and women both have character traits that make them attractive, and I play on both of the strengths of a man for John and play on the strengths of a woman for E-Steam, and I have them complementing each other, because that's something that makes the characters relatable, and it makes us see what's great both about men, about boys and girls, and helps us to see the role of both a man and a woman when they work together. That's something social justice warriors in Hollywood don't understand, because they want to elevate the woman, and they believe in order to elevate the woman, they have to tear the man apart. They have to make the man less than, and they believe they have to make this beta male hero who is a whiny, weak guy, and they believe they have to make this whiny, weak guy so that the woman can appear to be stronger. But when you do this, all you create is a codependent relationship, and that codependent relationship becomes frustrating for most women in real life, because they get tired of dealing with an emotional man who cannot make decisions, has no confidence, does not go for what he wants, does not overcome obstacles. Most women get frustrated with this kind of guy in real life, and that's why most audiences don't want to go see movies featuring beta male heroes, because a beta male hero is not showing them the type of man that they aspire to have in their lives. Now, movies are supposed to be an escape, and as an escape, they're supposed to show us a story of what we want life to be. And what these far leftist and social justice types in Hollywood want to show us with the beta male hero is an ideal that most people don't want, because most people in real life know the beta male is not the hero of the story. And this was shown in the 1982 movie, The Last American Virgin. Now, in The Last American Virgin, we have Gary, who is a guy who wants to get involved with the new girl who's moved into his neighborhood, Karen. And because he's weak and unassuming, what we get are a comedy of errors, as Gary doesn't understand why he can't get involved with Karen. Now, Karen, he had his chance with Karen inside of the restaurant, where when he first meets her, and instead of him following his instinct and making his move, what he does is go to the table with his friends, and he winds up missing out his chance with Karen. And over the course of the next 90 minutes, we see him participating in many of the nice guy behaviors that make it where he never gets Karen. And this is the whole joke of the movie, is that when you are a beta male nice guy and you are not the hero, in fact, you are the villain, and you're your own worst enemy, because it's your own actions that undermine you and keep you from achieving what you want to achieve. Now, as Gary goes on in the movie, Other guys are in the movie. In contrast, you have the obese David, who, even though he fails throughout the movie, you can respect because he perseveres in the face of failure. He builds up a strong resolve, and by the end of the movie, he eventually has built more confidence than Gary, who is looking to use shortcuts, like when he finds out that Karen is pregnant by Rick, who is the alpha male in the movie. He then wants to try to play Captain Save him, and then this leads to the powerful climax, which shows us that Gary really wasn't the hero. No, Gary was a simp, and Gary was the simp and the villain of the movie because he was his own worst enemy, and he was the one who kept himself from being able to get with Karen because he did not have the confidence to go for what he wanted, and as he was afraid to go for what he wanted, he wound up with things that he did not want, like a venereal disease from a prostitute, and never really getting with any girl that he wanted. So that whole story again shows you why the beta male wasn't the hero, and that movie resonated with people because we saw that the beta male got in his own way, undermined himself, and prevented himself from having success. But Hollywood wants us to believe that this is a guy who we want to relate to, a guy we want to identify with. No, most men don't identify with beta males. Most men don't want to be beta males. Most men aspire to be better than a beta male because a beta male basically is too afraid to go for what he wants, too afraid of hearing no, too afraid of failing, and that's something people don't want to see in a movie. No, nobody wants to pay $15 to go see a guy let a girl do everything for him. No guy wants to spend $15 to see a guy hiding behind a woman. No guy wants to spend $15 watching a guy go out here and not go out here and try. Nobody wants to spend $15 to watch a guy get emotional and whine and moan. No, that's not what audiences of men and women want. But the social justice types in Hollywood, they believe they can make people buy into this narrative. They believe they can get you to buy into the narrative of the soft male. But the soft male is something no man wants to be, because the soft male is the one who loses in the end of the day. It is the soft male who loses, and nobody wants to be a loser. And this is why many of Hollywood's movies are bombing at the box office in spite of them having big franchise names like Star Wars and many others, because you don't have a clear defined hero with strong masculine traits. No, what they want to do is push this kinder, gentler, softer beta male. But most men don't want to be a beta male. Most women don't want beta males. No, the only women who want those are the women who are like feminists and female predators. They want to see softer males because they want to have power over those males. But most regular people, they don't want to see this kind of guy who is all emotional, reacts to everything, loses it at every turn, a guy who has no discipline, no resolve, no sense of critical thinking, and just goes out here and reacts instead of responding. No, women and men both want to see stoic, intelligent men who go out and let their actions speak for them. Men who go out here and take decisive action. That is what people want to see in a movie. And if you try to socially engineer a softer male, again, what happens is the audience rejects this, and this is why Hollywood is losing so much money, because nobody wants to see beta males as heroes. Everybody knows that a beta male isn't a hero. His character transformation arc doesn't change, because the problem with a beta male is he's too afraid to change, because he wants to again live in a smooth world where everything stays the same. But in life, nothing stays the same. And if you are going on a hero's journey is one where a character is going to change, a character is going to grow, and we need to see that growth happen in a story. And you cannot make a weak man appear to be weak to elevate a strong woman, because it's water seeking its own level. And a weak man and a weak woman are not going to change in any way, shape, or form. No, when you make the man weaker to make the woman appear to be stronger, you negate the strength of both. And that is something many screenwriters in Hollywood don't understand, because a woman who wants to be strong, she is strong by showing her strength of character, not trying to compete with the man, but complement the man. And that is why a story like A Sands of Time, where I show the woman complementing the man, resonates with a audience stronger than a story where you have the woman competing against the man. Because again, when you have the woman and the man on the same level like that, they both negate each other, and the audience doesn't connect with either of them because they consider both of them weak. And they consider them both to be weak because you have a woman who is trying too hard, you have a guy who's trying too hard, and when you try too hard, you cannot connect with the audience, and you can't connect with the audience because both of you are just trying so hard to make your point that you don't understand that you're losing the audience, because you have to connect with the audience to let them know that this is your story, and you're presenting it with your passion, and it's your passion that makes people care. You're not preaching a message to them, you're talking to them, and that's what misses with the beta male hero. The beta male hero is so busy trying to get you to like him that he doesn't understand that he's trying too hard to get you to like him, not understanding people respect a hero who goes through the hero's journey, because the hero has the courage to go out here and step out with confidence, and even though they fall down, they get back up, and that's what makes us respect a hero better than a beta male character who wants everybody to do things for him, just like the heroine wants everybody to do things for them, but that doesn't help the character grow because they don't learn anything at the end of the story. And that's what happens with stories with beta male heroes like a Captain Marvel or some of these other projects like the sequel trilogy. The character never learns anything. The characters never grow in any way, shape, or form. And again, beta male heroes, they aren't heroes because they're cowards. They aren't heroes because they don't want to solve problems. They're not heroes because they don't think. They don't want to learn and grow. And then when you're dealing with a beta male hero, you basically have a story that goes nowhere, because in their world, they don't want to go anywhere because they want their world smooth. And they want their world smooth because they don't want to deal with conflict. And because they don't want to deal with conflict, you can't move their stories forward. Now, if you want to pick up my story featuring a hero and a heroine in a balanced way, like E-Steam, The Sands of Time, showing you the strengths of men and the strengths of women and how they complement each other, you can pick that book up on Amazon.com. And if you have Kindle Unlimited, you can read it for free. And if you want to pick up some of my other stories on the SJS Direct imprint, like the ISIS series, the E-Steam series, the John Haynes series, the books of the Spinsterella trilogy, the novel The Thetas, A Recipe for Success, and my vampire novel Eternal Night, you can find all those books on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find them at other online booksellers like Smashwords, the iBookstore, and Google Play. And if you want to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, and my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and e-readers, The Temptation of John Haynes. Given to temptation, pick up this action-packed African-American paranormal romance. Get The Temptation of John Haynes in paperback and e-readers today.